All right. Well, I think we're pretty good here. So I say we just jump into it. So first, I want to say thank you guys for joining us again today. So today's webinar, we're going to be going over the P-Series printers, mainly the 24-inch and the 44-inch, which is going to be the 7570 and the 9570. So kind of a few of the use cases, a few of the really exciting new features in there, new ink set, new print head technology. So we'll kind of just go over all that. And then at the kind of towards the end there, we'll do a demonstration. I really want to show off the print speed and the quality there for you guys. Maybe show off one of the new features, and then we'll open it up. So I said, let's just dive in here. So first thing here, I just want to give an overview, and this is mostly for those who are new to the P-Series system. So the P really stands for kind of like photography, fine art. We have a lot of customers using these for recreation, again, landscape, portrait photography, things of that nature. So just want to give you a quick overview. We're going to go over some of the exciting media options that are out there, and definitely want to do a deep dive into the drivers as well. So first, again, for those new, P-Series is a fantastic unit for fine art, photography. With these new units, we can get 99% pan to and match when it comes to proofing. We have a lot of folks who are running the poster production through here as well. And of course, canvas printing is always a popular one. And this is really just to kind of get a few ideas going for those of you who are kind of new to it. I know some of you coming from the previous generations of P-Series has probably put them through their paces. So I want to kind of dive into why you might want to upgrade to these new units, even if you had maybe an older 8000 or maybe even a Stylus Pro or something of that nature. So let's go ahead and jump into kind of the exciting portion, right? So what are the new features? Off the bat, one of the most exciting things are kind of the decision-making process. So before, where you had to decide, okay, do I want to just mainly focus on proofing? Do I want to do black and white photography, landscape? They said, you know what, people don't want to have to pick between the two. So what they decided to do was put a full 12-color ink set into these new units, which is just unbelievable. Definitely widest gamut in the class. So it doesn't matter if you're trying to hit Coca-Cola or if you're trying to knock out the most beautiful kind of black and white photos there. This printer is going to do it either way for you. And another huge feature, which I'm sure a lot of you have requested and are going to be very excited about, is the matte black and photo black switching. So thank goodness, I think they finally heard the cries here. And so no longer do we have to waste any ink when we're actually switching over to either matte production or photo black production. Instead, they're going to have their own lines, their own nozzles. So speed's going to be a factor, and then waste is going to be significantly eliminated for those of you guys who are kind of jumping back and forth between those two. Also, I want to talk about, and we're actually going to show a video of this as well. It's the Black Enhance Overcoat feature, which I truly love. I think when you guys kind of see the quality, and again, we're going to be looking at it through a screen today. Nothing ever beats up close and personal. So at the end, of course, we always invite you guys out for a demo, or if you want to bring a file in, we'll actually do a print for you here so you can see the true quality of it as well.
Yeah, and Zach, can I jump in?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just kind of back up a little bit. For those who might not know us, I mean, Zach's our main tech guy here at Imaging Spectrum. My name is Matt McCormick. I head up the inkjet team. We also have our rep, Morgan Lynn, our Epson rep here on the phone too, to give any insight, feedback, any questions that y'all might have on these printers. So just kind of let you know on that. The second thing wanted to kind of go over, Zach, you mentioned people have P8000 or looking to get P8000, or maybe have older printers like the 9800, 9880. Maybe they're on the last legs, and maybe some things are trying to pick up here. This is really a game changer of a printer. I mean, I don't think there's anything like that, like this, the P9570, the P7570 that's out in the market right now as far as photography and fine art. So Epson's really has come to bat with a really good printer here that covers everything from proofing to photography to fine art, wide color gamut, just ease of use, touch screen, even, and we're gonna get to some of this stuff later. But really, this is a game changer printer. So this is, kind of a start of a lot of things that Epson is doing, and you'll see this in the new P700 and the P900 printers are about to come out too, in the lower level as far as 13-inch and 17-inch photo printers as well. And then to kind of touch base on the Black Enhance Overcoat, the main thing thinking there, and Zach said this about it, but there are some other printers out there, maybe competitor printers that have a what they call a chroma
like
optimizer.
optimizer.
Yeah, and that's all well, but that's just an extra ink you gotta, you know, pay for and have to try to create, you know, this kind of effect. While Epson, you know, it's just a setting here. It's just a click of a setting that you can put on luster or glossy paper to give you that extra, you know, black look and the actual deep black look and with it that you're going to show on this video. So it's really kind of a cool thing. It's not like an extra cost involved. And you know, that maybe some of these printers have, you know, to have another ink slot there. But anyways.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry, guys, I didn't mean to just jump right in there. And I do want to kind of say one thing about Matt. And, you know, Matt's been, gosh, how long have you been rocking these P series for now, Matt? You know, you've been doing this for quite a while. So
I mean, I've been
seen the trends in the industry here.
Yeah, and this is our bread and butter, the P series printers, the photography, fine art, and all that. And I've been doing it over like 15 years, and so I've seen a lot of you know, from the back of the, you know, the 7600, 9600, and even before then the P9000, I think. Oh no, what was it called back then? The 9000. But anyways, anyways, there's a lot of generations of Epson printers and upgrades, and I've just seen improvements every time, you know, as the years go on.
Absolutely. Well, and one thing I want to say personally, kind of on that note, I was talking about the iterations, and, you know, Epson does a great job, you know, of each generation, but in my personal humble opinion, this has been probably their biggest upgrade, I'd say. What do you think, Matt, in the last 2 to 3 generations there?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it is a game changer for sure. So there's just a lot of really cool features on this, and it's all in mind to put in the consumer's mind to make it things easier. That they've listened to the customers out there. As maybe a couple things on maybe a P9000 that they maybe didn't like. It's in this printer, but just but anyways, it's just a really kind of the highest level printer you can have.
Absolutely. And I will tell you guys, we're going to jump into this, and I think you're going to see exactly what we're talking about. And I think
go back one more to the I think the speed you talked about. So to give you numbers, you know, this is 2.4 times faster than a P9000 or a P7000 printer. So that's really crazy, and it's mostly due because of the larger print head that's in their 2.6-inch, you know, print head. But it's crazy how much faster production you're going to get with the P7570 and the P9570, but not lose out on any quality at all, you know. So that's really intriguing on this printer too.
And then hopefully and we'll show the video here towards the end, but hopefully you guys can, I mean, just seeing is believing. And, you know, I know the first time that Matt and I were we were doing some poster board production, if I remember correctly. And I just remember just us kind of sitting there like, oh my goodness. I mean, it's such a noticeable difference. And, you know, you're able to knock out those larger jobs in a much more timely manner. So
yeah, that customer who is a good customer of ours here locally, and their printer, they have a 9800. It was down. They do those 24x30 poster boards, and they needed a quick job, so they came in and we were like, well, okay, we'll print it off this 9570 for you, and you know, you got a job to do. And he was amazed how, I think it usually took him like 12 to 15 minutes to do a board, and this took it like 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah, he was just so blown away how fast it was.
So, you know, if production's your thing, I mean, definitely there's a lot to be excited about here too. So, and kind of, and we'll talk about the overall building construction. This is about 40 pounds heavier. They definitely did a lot as far as they sealed the roll there. So a lot of great upgrades just in the construction alone. One thing I will say is, you know, you might need an extra helping hand just to kind of get it on the stand, but from there, or it's super simple. So I do want to kind of dive into probably one of the more exciting features as well, which is the Pro 12 ink set. So I know some of this we kind of went over before, but with this particular ink set, you know, you definitely do have the widest color gamut in class. And as Matt said, I mean, it really doesn't get much better than this. I mean, this is top tier. So whether you're dealing with, you know, commercial grade companies where you have to hit those specific colors, or they'll send your stuff back to you, It's all covered. And I do kind of mention in here as well, as far as, this is kind of more of on the cost side, depending on the size of your production, you can have the 150 milliliters, the 350s, or if you're a heavy production unit, then that's when we generally jump up to the 700. And that's all basically equates to cost savings. So, a little bit money up front, but your long-term savings are significant as well. So
yeah, and Maureen, are you there?
I am.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything you want to add to this before we get into the videos and stuff. Is there anything you want to add on?
No, I mean,
your experience with this printer so far.
Yes, I think a huge thing, of course, is the ink itself is the permeance of the ink. So we're looking up to 200 years with color, and also 400 years black and white. That's a huge deal, and of course, in the proofing market, you're looking at 99% Pantone matching. So that's huge.
Absolutely. And, I will say, we've had some customers who, they were using, this is just one that came in recently, doing some landscape photography. We printed the same on the P8000 there. And again, great print, but when you really put it next to that new print from this ink set, I mean, you really did see those violets, the flowers started to pop, the landscape. I mean, it was gorgeous. So a very noticeable side-by-side difference from an already fantastic printer as well. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the Black Enhance Overcoat, which I really, really love. And it works fantastic on glossy, metallic. I've even used it on some luster. It's a little more subtle on those, but especially on the glossy. And kind of, I have a little indicator down here of kind of how the process works. So it is a driver setting, and kind of like Matt said before as well, it really just a click of a button. So whether you're printing through Photoshop or, I have a lot of people, and I kind of encourage it for some people who are kind of getting into it, to use the Epson print layout tool. A very simple tool to use, kind of makes the driver a more aesthetically pleasing, I'd say, user interface there. So if you have a good quality image you're working with, it's a great kind of tool just to have a good print there as well. As Matt mentioned as well, it kind of reduces having to have that extra ink in there. So what it's going to actually do is utilize the light gray ink, which is already part of the ink set. So hopefully you can see here our initial image on the start on the left, the image in the middle, and you can actually see it changed the density there as well. So it knows, and it's very smart, so it understands what areas are going to need that overcoat applied. And then at the end, you're going to see that final print. And I'll tell you guys, we have a kind of an image of it's a gold lady, and she's got a black background behind her. And I can tell you, it really increases that contrast. It really just gives it, for lack of a better term, a pop. I've heard people kind of call it a 3D effect as well. So it's very exciting. Just slows down the speed a little bit, but again, 2 clicks and you're ready to go there. The print head, right? So this is Epson. So I got to talk about the print head technology. And Matt mentioned before, so this is a brand new print head for this class of P-series models here. So large, as you can tell. And when you see this video later, you're going to see how it lays it down essentially in 2 layers, so that we're able to really complete these jobs in just an unbelievably timely manner. 12 channels. And so the significance of that, again, is that we have that matte black and photo black on our separate channel. So if I need to knock out a matte canvas, and then right behind it I need some photo luster, not an issue, really. Just a quick button click, change the profile, and we're done there. Also, just to kind of have, and this is kind of the mid-range here, so a 16 by 20 print on here, we're looking about 1:51, and that's kind of I call that kind of your high quality. It's not your max quality, but your high quality. So you can imagine your 600, your poster production runs a lot faster as well. And one thing, kind of while we're on the talk of production here, one of the very exciting things for these production houses is the actual access to a print head finally. So I know some of these folks, with their high volumes, they had to have a technician come in, a little bit of downtime, maybe a fee. So now, our first line of defense is we can actually have access to it ourselves, wipe off what we need, see if there's any major issues that we can detect there. And then from there, of course, Epson support is always fantastic. So I call it a first line of defense that we can handle without having to get the technicians involved there. So kind of an exciting thing. Also, what I think is exciting, and I've had great luck with it so far, is the new sheet load. So even on these 44-inch, 24-inch printers, the sheets are not an issue whatsoever. So this particular one actually flips down. Technically, you can go up to a 44-inch sheet, but your typical 11/17s, 20/30s, that kind of thing is all totally fine. Now, I will say the thing I really like about this is I feel like I've noticed the skewing a little bit less. It kind of sits down in there properly, and once you have it seated, you kind of feel it out. So not an issue, a non-issue there. And also I want to mention, hopefully you can see in this picture, kind of down here, they actually sealed the roll cover. So if you're in a dusty environment or maybe a less than sterile environment, it's definitely a huge help as far as keeping that print life going without any kind of detriment to the internal components there as well. So kind of an exciting thing. And of course, the poster board, like we were kind of talking about earlier, they do have up to 1.5 millimeter thick there as well. So if there's thicker materials you want to print on that can accept that aqueous ink set there, then you're good to go. So very exciting. Also for the production side, if you need a take-up reel, again, some of these guys might need to knock out a couple hundred to 1,000 posters plus, and with this, what we can do is we can actually set it, start in the morning, knock out our other jobs, finish our art, whatever we're working on, and then at the end of the day, we can have our media loaded and kind of ready to roll from there. Also in this, it does have a spectroproofer that you can add to it as well. So if that's something you need, you can always call us and we can kind of guide you on that. I do want to mention, I know for some people it might be a small thing, but to me it was an awesome improvement. And that's the catch basket here. So completely new design, especially for the longer print runs. This is a huge help. So with this, it kind of sits up and out of your way. If I need it to, stretch it out, I can get quite a few feet out of that. And also, just the overall, the robust, it's just a better build overall. So kind of a lot of small things that kind of add up to big innovations, I feel, in these P-Series printers. Also, I kind of have here on the media side, one thing that's kind of exciting is the media installer that this comes with as well. So the nice thing about that is if you had some of these older models, and maybe Epson might have come out with some new media, some new material, we can download the color profiles, but unfortunately the hardware side doesn't really update for us. So with this media installer, we can download to all sides. So we'll actually update the hardware and the driver profiles as well. So a really cool thing, if there's ever anything new to come out, we're always up to date with this machine here. So I just want to talk about that briefly. So I figure probably done with me talking here. So let's actually show some of the print in action here. So what I figure we'll start off with, let's just do this one here. So this is just kind of a quick demonstration on the print speed. So we'll get this up and running. And one thing that's cool about here that hopefully you guys can see as well is the double cut feature. So let's just say I'm working on my 24 by 36 posters. I'll tell you guys, I'm not a huge fan of having to trim everything afterwards. I don't know about you guys. So again, if we're using standard sizes, standard media, we can do four-sided borderless printing essentially. So we have it set to borderless here, and then I have the double cut set, so it'll actually lop off the bottom and the top as well. So really, it's as soon as it comes off the printer, it is ready to ship out and send, which is a huge thing for the poster production side especially. So kind of an exciting thing here. Now, hopefully when you can kind of see this happen, you kind of see there's actually two layers here. And again, I believe this is at a high quality setting. So this is going to be essentially our long print. So as you can kind of see here, as it gets down to its known area, you'll see the cutter actually activate and kind of knock off that bottom portion. And again, if I needed to, I could just line up maybe 50 or plus jobs, kind of have the catch tray out there, and then it's going to do the same thing for all of my prints. So if I just need 50 of the same poster, I can already have all 50 24 by 36 ready to ship out as soon as it's done printing there. So I don't know, this might be something you guys might notice as well for coming from some of the older printers is the shifting. So, with this being, again, heavier, just a more robust build, I see less of the kind of the shaking back and forth. So that's kind of a good thing to see. I haven't had any issues with the skewing. There is a new nozzle verification system in here as well that kind of keeps everything primed. So, it doesn't beat manual maintenance, but it's always nice to know that your printer's ready on a moment's notice there. don't know if you guys can kind of tell here, but how massive that print head is just from the outside looking in. And they did a really good job of a casing around it too, so quite protected. One thing too that I know a lot of people are excited about, I didn't really touch on yet, but the inbuilt light. Again, I know it's for some people they might like it as a small feature, but it's a huge thing to see the quality of your print before you get your 6+ inches in there. So with this light, I can tell right from the get-go if everything's going smoothly. Need to, I can cancel the job right there rather than having to wait and waste potential media there. So again, small things add up to a lot here, guys. And this was onto the premium photo luster. So the highest DMAX, I mean, if you're going for quality, this is one of my particular favorite medias that we like to print onto here. I'm kind of partial to the metallic stuff as well. I think it's got a very kind of unique and interesting look. And again, with that black enhanced overcoat, it does have an added benefit of kind of just giving you that kind of real 3D kind of it's gorgeous. So you can see, completely ready for shipping there. So again, that was at max quality, guys. So I mean, that's top tier stuff. So you can imagine from there, we can probably shave it down to 1:30 for some of these prints as well. So I know I was talking about the black enhanced overcoat earlier, so I kind of pulled that up as well, just to show you how that.
Zach here with some quick tips from Imaging Spectrum. I quickly wanted to share the new Black Enhanced Overcoat feature, only available on the Epson SureColor P7570 and P9570. This driver-enabled feature allows best-in-class black density, especially on glossy and metallic media, without the need for expensive optimizers or flood coats to achieve deep blacks. This equates to a higher Dmax for wider contrast ratio, improved sharpness, and reduced gloss differential. Starting off in the Epson Print Layout tool, you can select your printer, media type, and size. The Layout tool conveniently has the Black Enhance feature built in, so you can check the box, hit print, and move on. If you're used to printing through another application, such as Photoshop, we will go into the driver, and with the simple click of a checkbox, the image will be analyzed to determine where to lay the overcoat layer. This overcoat allows a wet look that was previously unachievable without expensive problem solving or extra steps. Now, after analysis, certain areas will receive a light gray overcoat during printing, which significantly increases black density. As simple as that, your print will take on new life that is sure to wow your clients. So next time you need a dense black and rich final print to stand out from the crowd, try the Black Overcoat Enhance feature, only available on the new Epson P7570 and P9570. Of course, nothing beats seeing the real thing in person, and as always, Imaging Spectrum encourages you to bring your files in and demo the latest from Epson to truly see the quality for yourself. So come on down and let's make some extraordinary prints. Hope to see you soon.
Okay, just a little quick video there, and I do want to go back. I know we're viewing this all on a screen, so obviously not the ideal situations for some of these prints, but
man, that sounded like a professional doing that. Who was that?
I don't know whose voice that was. Who was that? So I'm trying to get to this point here where you guys can see, and again, it's probably not going to come through on these screens, but this black is very deep compared to the previous generation there. So now I'm going to kind of jump in from the demonstrations, and I think we kind of gave a quick overview there. I know that was kind of just a quick rundown of the feature set, but what I want to do, Matt, Morgan, is there anything you wanted to kind of say about it before we kind of open this up? I have one slide here that I think we can kind of just hopefully maybe sum up some of the overall features here if you guys want to kind of chime in a bit.
No, I think you covered most of it, but you know, the auto switching from the matte black to photo black, that's been a huge plus for many of our customers, and we've had many customers buy on site because they no longer had to wait for that switch. They just automatically said, hey, I don't have to wait for that anymore, or use any ink to do that. Let's do it now. And of course, some of the great features that you already you talked about of the 40-pound heavier stand, so you don't have you know, any swaying or anything like that you mentioned earlier when you saw the printer printing.
And Zach, you mentioned the interior light.
Yeah, just if we kind of touch on, yeah.
And I can't. It's weird because you think it's something as small as that.
Right.
Most of the customers I talk to think that's a major thing, because having that little interior light while your print's going on, or just kind of look in there and to make sure that it's printing correctly. I think right now on you have to kind of guess and kind of look, and you can't really see what's going on. And just that small little added feature is a huge thing in some people's eyes. And some of the people who come in and we've done a demo for, I just, I'm like, here's this light, and they're like, whoa, and I'm kind of surprised by the reaction. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a light, but just a little small thing like that. But with the many, I guess improvements or enhanced features on this printer, is kind of just an added cool thing.
Absolutely. Well, and kind of on the light side of things, I did want to mention something too. I know, again, kind of as you said, small but big at the same time. This new alert lamp here. So if I'm on one part of the building and I can't really see where the printer's at, I can see that alert lamp give me it's a color indication. So I know if my print's done, if it's in the middle of printing, or kind of what's going on. And also on the touch screen, it's kind of I call it jumping into kind of the 21st century here. So definitely very updated. It's fast, very responsive, a little more intuitive, I'd say, than maybe some of the previous generations there. So that's kind of a cool thing too.
And I guess if you jokingly, anything negative you want to say, it is 40 pounds heavier. So for those of us on, attending that have ever lifted one of these bodies to the stand, hey, you're going to have more weight now, to deal with.
Absolutely. The first time I picked it up, because I was used to the 9,000s, I was like, all right, two of us got this. It might just have an extra set of hands just to kind of help everything. But like I said, once it's on the stand, we can roll it anywhere we need to. So.
But that's just 40 pounds of added features there. That's if you want to measure the added features, it's 40 pounds of added features. Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah. Well, I mean, that was kind of just a quick kind of rundown of the P series. I think what I want to do, guys, is open it up a bit for the some Q&A if you guys have any kind of major questions to ask. And I'm going to leave this slide up. That way you guys can kind of see, a visual representation of some of the stuff going on here. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to kind of put them in the chat or the comments below, and we'll answer them here real time for you.
Awesome, Zach. Hey, this is Morgan. I saw a question in there talked about just the presentation that we went over. They may have been a little late or wasn't able to catch the whole thing.
Oh, no worries.
I know that it's something new that that Imaging Spectrum's done as far as a lot of these Epson presentations.
Yes,
on the DTG, the die sub, and a lot of different things. Can you tell them about the Learning Center that you guys?
Absolutely, yeah. Perfect segue. Thank you for that. So we're really excited about this. And, as we get into more and more production as the time goes, we're going to continue to flesh this out. So it's a learning center that we're going to be releasing here for the public. So as these webinars are finished, give us a day or two. We're kind of get everything together, but we're going to be putting all of these up on the web. So, I'll tell you guys, it's one thing to kind of talk and just give you the general overview, but if you guys want to do a real deep dive, I'd love to have a phone call from you. We can have a one-on-one conversation. I know Matt's the same way here as well. So a learning center is going to be a good way to kind of wrap your head around what's kind of going on in the industry, maybe some new features, some exciting things that are out there as well. So definitely stay tuned, and we're going to keep that updated, not only with webinar videos, but we're going to try to bring in some just basic tutorials as well. So that'll be at imagingspectrum.com/training. So definitely hop on there, and like I said, keep your eyes peeled, because we'll be updating that fairly frequently. So we'll keep that always going. And it's going to be stuff as well as maybe new materials that are out there, or maybe even customer spotlights. Maybe what some of the competition's doing out there as well. So
awesome. Now, Zach, if a customer is interested in seeing a little more about the machine, and I know this is, of course, it's different times right now, and they're not as comfortable seeing it face to face right now, and understandable.
Very much
what are some options for customers to see the machine, maybe virtually or whatever?
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, so we kind of have, and I kind of call it, we cater it to the client there. So we've gone everything from live FaceTiming, which I'm more than happy to do as well. If you're more interested in seeing the print quality, if you want to send a file our way, I love to send out a few prints just so you can kind of get your hands on the actual quality of the printer here as well. If you're more comfortable with coming in, and we're more than happy, we'll mask up whatever you guys feel comfortable with to make sure that when you're here, you're going to get the utmost experience, but in a safe environment. I mean, we're family here, and I know, we all want to keep everybody safe. So whatever you feel comfortable, do not even hesitate to say, whatever you guys need for that. FaceTime has been a popular thing as well. I know the only downside of FaceTime, I know sometimes the quality might not come through as much as if you're here physically. So if you want to, we can also do a FaceTime presentation and then maybe ship you out a print or two to actually get your hands on those as well.
And another thing I can add, I mean, if you can't make it in or something, or you're really interested in this printer, you maybe just want to see a print from it or something like that. I mean, email us a file, call us, we can print something for you, even, send it to you if you want to take a look at it compared to your current printer. And so that's available as well.
Very much so. Absolutely, guys. Any questions as far as maybe particular medias or any of the new features in there? And we will, and we'll be going over this later, just because we're talking about the P series right now. I know Matt kind of just touched on it real quick, but the P700 and the P900, kind of very exciting things as well. We're going to see that here probably later in the year, but they're going to be the Pro 10 ink set there. So it's going to be a wide color gamut. It's going to be kind of more focused on the desktop side, but a lot of these features we're going to see kind of trickle into those as well. So if you're looking for a smaller form factor, maybe knocking out just a few photos here and there, that could be a great option for some of you guys as well.
And one thing I want to kind of add too, I mean, if y'all were maybe interested in the P7000 and didn't know about the P7570, for instance, and now you do, pricing right now, I mean, P7000, I think is that $29.95, and the P7570 has got a really good deal going down to, what's it, $34.95 right now? Is that right? But yeah, for $500 more, you can get this, 7570, which is, twice as fast, got all these like added features. Yeah, you got an extra ink, with violet ink, which in my opinion is a good thing. Mm-hmm. You can touch on more proofing and do, photography, fine art. But yeah, so it's a real good deal going on this month if you are looking to jump into an upgrade for your current printer right now.
Absolutely. Well, and two, I know Matt and I kind of deal with customers, and if you have some questions kind of on maybe particular medias, maybe cost, maybe, the square footage price and things like that, we're more than happy to kind of give you a basic analysis on there as well. So that we kind of have an indicator of your out-of-pocket costs and potential profit down the road there as well. Any other questions, guys, that are kind of anything popping up here?
I think we might have another question.
Hey, Marla, thanks for chiming in today. So Marla's asking, she's saying that we don't need to print larger than 16 by 20 or 24 very often. And then they're saying one issue we had was the amount of ink that got wasted every time it did a clean. Is this still an issue? So I'll tell you guys, and we strongly encourage at least running a nozzle check, and it's not going to run through your ink set there. It's really, and honestly, it's going to be more of a benefit than a detriment here because it's going to keep that print head primed.
Yeah, and one thing on there, Marla, I mean, I don't know what your auto nozzle check was set to. I mean, there are settings there that sometimes if you're setting it for every print, mm-hmm. Then it's going to be cleaning all the time. And so if you set it on periodically, or maybe even sometimes off, if you are using it a lot, it won't do those constant cleanings and wasting ink.
Very good point.
And so it just depends on kind of your production. If it's a couple prints here a day or something like that, one nozzle check and you're good for the rest of the day. You shouldn't have to do these cleanings, constantly. Now the cleanings do waste a little ink, and that is true. But I don't think it's as I don't know, as crazy as maybe the previous printers.
The benefits significantly outweigh the cons here. Now, one thing as well is that there is a nozzle verification technology that's in this one. So if you want to do a printless nozzle check, we can do that as well. And Marla, you're right. And just like Matt said too, we can change the auto clean features on this as well. So something that kind of fits your production environment to the best there.
And did Zach, I can't remember. Did you mention that you can open the hood on this thing?
Oh, you know what? I didn't know. We didn't even talk about it. No.
Yeah, that's what's a really for y'all who are still here. That's a really different and cool little feature that's that this printer comes with its own maintenance kit in a way where you can essentially pop that hood open where you can clean essential print head components. And that's just on a necessary basis. It's not something you do on a daily basis or weekly or anything like that. And maybe it's just one time a year. But I think if you're running into a clog or something that just can't go away, I mean, there's a maintenance kit that can get to go in there and actually clean around the print head components. Where before on the other printers, it was taking 1,000 screws and getting in there, and just you have to be I don't know, go get your masters to go in there and technically dive in there and try to clean those parts. But now on this printer, it makes it easier to access those, so you won't have to call a technician out there per se. So
exactly. Yeah, so you have access to that capping station, so you can clean around that, and also clean around that print head. So it makes it a lot easier, and matter in how much the environment that the printer's in, and also how much you're running it could also ease some of those things, those symptoms that you were getting in the past.
Well, and one thing I personally really like about having that maintenance bay access now is, again, I know we're talking about production, but if let's just say I'm in the middle of a heavy production run, well, now I don't have to completely stop my my operation and wait 24 to 48 hours. I can go in there myself, knock it out, maybe hopefully 10 or so minutes, and then we can kind of get back into the job there. So
again, it's not something you do. It's not a daily thing. It's not something you can do monthly. It's just something there just in case
if you need it.
And it's probably, like I said, you might even do like one time a year or something like that. But it's just kind of a good thing to have on hand, just in case if you do run into something like that. So I mentioned pricing on the printers. One other thing is, I kind of want to throw out there, we do have, if you do, are you looking to get in this, maybe want to quote, or we do have financial companies that we work with as well, that you can go that route. Really awesome rates going on with 0 down, no payments for a few months. And so if you do want to know about that, just give us a call or shoot us an email, and we can kind of point you out the right direction there too.
Absolutely.
And as he talks about financing, we do have some very competitive rebates on this. So sometimes we hear about different trade-ins or different this and different that. As far as trading in, you can keep your old 79, 80, 9800s, whatever it be. You can keep those, keep printing with them, and then add to your fleet. And we want you to keep printing with those too. That's fine. And we have some rebates going on with the 7570, the 9570 to help you bring on those printers right now. That it's as Matt said earlier, this is reasonably priced as some of the P7000s, right? And so that's available for you.
And also, we get a lot of people in here, and the machine, it's it might be arbitrary, but it's a really good looking machine. And I think people, when they kind of see it, they kind of maybe subconsciously in their head, they're like, man, this is going to be a pricey one. And I'll tell you, every time I kind of tell the price, especially the 75 and the 95 there, people kind of like, this is something I can actually get into. It's a feasible thing that I can guarantee you with the proper infrastructure in place, you can absolutely make that money back in no time.
And then I think Bruce was asking how it does on Canvas.
Great question, Bruce. Yeah. Awesome. Bottom line.
You want to go, Zach?
Yeah.
But I mean, we've had demos in here on Canvas and even I guess open house or whatever. But yeah, the DMAX level,
definitely
higher DMAX level definitely brings out those blacks. The Canvas looks awesome, or Zach likes to say, extraordinary. And really, you're not missing a beat. If you had an older Epson printer, this one just, right in line, or actually does a little better on canvas. Mainly, a lot of it is, and I think Zach, you talked about this too, the profiling as well. I mean, the cool thing about this printer, as opposed to the other ones, if you have the ICC profiles are in there embedded, but when things, if there's new papers or maybe there's a new profile or something like that, in the old style, you would put that into your Photoshop or your computer, but it won't update the printer. But now everything updates, so if you get a new profile into your computer, it's going to automatically update the printer. So you're going to have that selection there. So that's what's great about that working in tandem together, that computer to printer, all that things get updated at the same time. So you don't have to guess and try to, I don't know, this media type maybe is close to what I'm trying to do here. Now it will be matching up.
And you know what, off of that too, and we didn't really talk about it, but I do want to say, if you are going for hyper color accuracy, especially in the Pantone side of things, you can always pair this up with the RIP software and one of those spectro proofers as well, if you're going for that really nitty gritty, again, color accuracy. So for those out of the box, like Matt was saying, the profiles are there for you, but we can always do a little bit of a deep dive in again if we need to hit certain Pantone colors there. Any other questions, guys? I don't see anything coming through here, so I think, guys, there's anything you want to say? I think we pretty much covered most of the benefits, and I know, kind of the real thing here is, and I'm sure you guys want to see the actual print quality, so let us know, give us a call. I'm going to put our number up on the screen here. So if you want to email us, I know it's Matt at Imaging Spectrum or Zach at Imaging Spectrum. You can call us at this number as well. And then, like I said, like Matt said, I should say, send a file our way. We are more than happy to send it over right now. And I see Bruce is asking, are the printers available now? And yes, sir, absolutely. As a matter of fact, we have them in our warehouse and ready to roll. So definitely let us know on that one too.
Yeah, we do free freight shipping, and depending on where you're located, it's usually about, I don't know, 2 or 3 days on ship time. So just let us know.
Absolutely.
And you guys have a lot of that ink and media in your warehouse too, ready to
Absolutely.
ship too.
Yes, sir. And thanks for mentioning that, Morgan. So yeah, and for those of you who don't know, we have a good sized warehouse back here. So if there's ever a media that you guys need stocked, or if it's something that you use regularly, we're more than happy to bring that in-house if we don't already have it here. So definitely let us know on the media types as well. We'll definitely have you covered.
Well, thanks for letting me join you guys today.
Yeah, thanks for joining, Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan, appreciate it, man.
All right, guys, I'm not seeing any other questions pop up, so I'll just kind of leave it open for maybe about another minute here if anyone wants to ask anything, and otherwise we'll kind of close up shop. And like I said, if you kind of came in later, if you missed part of it, then we'll have this up. Give us about a day or two to kind of get it on the web there, and then definitely join us at our Learning Center. Something I'm really excited about, and I know some customers have been asking for it. So that's imagingspectrum.com/training again. So look forward to seeing you guys there. All right, I think that's it. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything popping up. So, all right, guys, thanks again so much for joining us, and let us know if there's anything we can help you with in the future here.
Okay, thanks a lot, everybody.